In sports, it's not the final score, it's the love of the game that matters most. However, when you make it to that goal line, that end zone, that's when the game gets really exciting. And if you can cross that line and you score, everyone cheers. In a gourmet meal, it's the dessert that leaves the lasting impression. That is the cherry on the top, that makes you want to keep coming back for more. It's the same in your intimate encounters. When you make it to that O zone, that's when the game gets really exciting. And if you can cross that line and have an orgasm, everyone's happy. That is the cherry on the top that makes you want to keep coming back for more. Today, we're going to talk about the ozone and dessert. Let's get into it. Kevin and Jackie, my couple. Kevin makes sure that she has her orgasm first and then he has his orgasm, maybe, if they're lucky. Sometimes a lot of people find it easier to have an orgasm by themselves. These things take practice, and everything starts with a huddle. That huddle is how you get to the comfort zone, the pleasure zone, and the ozone. That's how you make it to the love you man phase, and that is the whole point of being part of an intimacy team, right? And even if you make it to the ozone and you don't cross that line, think about it like a team. Remember that time, that game where we got so close? Being part of an intimacy team is about being in it together. Sometimes for Kevin and Jackie, when she has her orgasm and then he has his orgasm, they kind of feel lonely. It feels like it's missing something. It's always missing the intimacy, that's the connection and the pleasure. That focus on pleasure, that is the whole point of doing it, especially doing it together. And these things take practice and a plan. This is the best part. The fact is, as a team, when you make it to that goal line and you get really excited, you have a team strategy to make it across that line, right? It is a team effort. We are in this together. That ozone is really vulnerable place to go. And crossing that edge, that is the most vulnerable that you can be. That orgasm, in French, an orgasm is called the petite mort, the little death, because you actually disappear for a little second. That's why it takes so much trust. I need to trust that you are here with me, that I am safe to go to that place, because when I come back, you're going to be here. And when you are the one taking your partner to these vulnerable spaces, it bonds you. It is a total game changer when you're in it together. And this takes practice and a plan. One time, Kevin said to Jackie, "Hey, wanna?" He was being spontaneous. The word spontaneous literally means off of the schedule. So having an intimacy game plan with a schedule and knowing what you're doing when makes your spontaneous games even better. Because now you have a whole language, you know what you're doing. So for example, this time Jackie didn't have to say no. She actually said, okay, but I can only do an appetizer and it's going to be all for you. And he was like, okay. And again, that drops they know what they're doing. It drops his expectations. He wasn't even worried about the ozone. She was just like, okay, this will be fun. And she gave him a handmade appetizer and a handmade dessert. She gave his privates a moment of private pleasure. And as Jackie said to me in the locker room with her coach, I did that. And it was so empowering. I was clothed. I made it to a meeting on time. That's the whole thing. When you have an intimacy game plan, you are learning a routine so you know how to get there, how to take him from his starting position all the way to his ozone, straight to dessert. Getting to know yourself and each other means that you are building your own menu. You can find what works for you and find what works for you because you're two completely different people. And Kevin is so excited because he gets to up level his skills and his equipment skills so that they both enjoy it more. Instead of just poking her, he has learned the grind, the stir, the dip. There are so many moves to be learned. And he's learned a lower light bulb exercise that gives him stamina, strength, and control. True mastery. And Jackie can use these same lower light bulb exercises to increase her ability to have bigger and bigger orgasms. This is your practice. You are an athlete. Your relationship, your partner, this is your team. You get to try all of these things together, and that's how it gets better and better forever. Score. Knowing how to start. Everything starts with a huddle. Knowing how to make it through all of your zones and get to the O zone, that is your goal. It's a bonus if you can cross that line and do it together. That is your dessert. That's your cherry on the top. The old way is for Kevin and Jackie, they'd get in, get off, get out. The new way is to slow down. Savor the flavors, the textures, the pleasures. Navigate your way through the pleasure zones, the danger zones, and get to the O zone. And then to help your partner cross that line and have the biggest touchdown of their life. When you are the one taking your partner there, giving them that biggest touchdown of your life, that is so empowering. And Kevin said to me, I will never forget it. I was buzzing for days. This is why we take turns. Because we are getting to know, we are sharing in Kevin's pleasure. We are exploring the pleasure and sharing the pleasure of Kevin's ozone. And then we're sharing the pleasure and exploring Jackie's entire ozone, helping her make it across the line. That's the best part. This is the whole reason for being part of an intimacy team, of being in a relationship, to give and receive pleasure, give and receive love, to love and be loved and have it get better and better for a lifetime. To help each other score in sex and love in whatever way is right for you. You grow together by finding all the things you love and then making more of it together. There's more. There's always more. When it comes to food and sex, you have to love it. You got to make it. And there's always more. And it does get better and better. Now, you have a plan to navigate your relationship, all of the phases, and make it to the love you man zone. Intimacy is your skill. Connection is your cure. Pleasure is your practice. And love is your outcome. Make sense? And I'm here for you. I'm Amy Keller. I've been named the best intimacy coach because I became the professional that my husband and I went looking for and couldn't find. I have merged traditional talk therapy with tantra and the science of intimacy. For over 20 years, I have helped thousands of clients with the things that doctors and therapists really can't address. You know, intimacy. It's always the intimacy. And just like you don't have to figure out how to navigate football without a coach, you don't have to figure out how to navigate love, sex, relationships, intimacy alone. That's why I'm here. You'll find a free download. Get your intimacy game plan in the descriptions, or find a link and talk to me, because having an intimacy game plan and a coach, that's how you go from roommates to playmates. That's how you know that you're going to get better and better for a lifetime. Drop me a comment. I would love to hear your biggest takeaway, or if you don't know what to say, leave me a heart in your favorite color, because I'm Amy Keller, your favorite intimacy coach. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and stay connected to yourself, each other, and me. And I'll see you soon. Sound good?